I really enjoyed this film. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today we're talking about the Malayalam film Operation Java, written and directed by Tharun Moorthy. This was his first feature film. It's got an ensemble cast. If I start naming them all, this video will be too long. So instead, throughout the video, I'll be talking about them. Just wanted to inform you that why it took me so long to review this film. So there was a cyclone and it affected us really bad. Like there was no electricity and internet for 3 days. So that caused the delay. And as always, we were supposed to watch this film together on Discord with other viewers. But the internet was fluctuating, so we had to cancel it and I watched it alone. But we do watch movies on Discord and talk about movies all day. So if you're interested, do join the community, link in the description. Now coming to the film, Operation Java is a very well made commercial film. It does show us the real procedure of cyber cell, but the treatment is very massy. They want to make it look cool. With slow-mo shots, stylish editing, the senior inspector twirling his mustache. They want to make the cyber cell operations very appealing and cool. And the film is also giving the mass education, making the public aware about cyber crimes through different cases. But at no moment it feels very preachy or a crime patrol episode. That was a good thing about the film. Technically, I think the film was brilliant. The sound design was amazing and we start the film with that. We are just seeing the credits, but the sound design kicks in, the sound of the rain and people walking. The cinematography, the editing was top notch. They wanted to make the film very slick and I think they nailed it. Now the film is tonally very inconsistent. Sometimes it's very serious, sometimes it becomes very humorous, sometimes it's a thriller, sometimes a slice of life, so a lot of things are going on. But in this case, it works for me. I don't mind it. And I think that is because I'm interested in the subject matter. Cyber crimes, how cyber cell works. I remember after 12th standard, I had taken an aptitude test and in that I had got a career option as ethical hacker. And I have learned coding for 2 years. So, in that sense, I could relate in some parts and the film was very engaging to me throughout. Now I watched the film on Z5, the best OTT platform out there. They'd forgotten to put out the English subtitles, but they got it after 2 days. Man, their subtitles are very small compared to other OTT sites. I think other platforms even give you the option to change the subtitles, font, size and everything. In the beginning I did feel some discomfort because so many people were talking over each other and I couldn't even catch up the subtitles and I was not even looking what's happening on the screen. I was just trying to catch up with the sub. Now guys, I'll go into the spoiler section, so if you don't want to get ruined, stop the video right now, go watch the film and then come back. And some of the people who comment why you're talking spoilers, because I want to. Also guys, if you're finding value, do hit the like button so the video reaches to more people, and also consider subscribing and the bell icon to get notification whenever new video drops. I really liked all the different cases we explored in the film and all of them were treated very realistically. At no point I felt the things were very convenient. I saw the struggle they went through solving the case. It wasn't easy for them, and in each case when we thought they got the culprit but it wasn't the case, it was someone else, so they have to find the other guy. So that was pretty interesting. The investigation, the back and forth between the officers, all of it was done really well. And when you have this ensemble cast, it's very difficult how you want to place your camera, who you point towards, how the dialogues are written. I may not know Malayalam, but I could tell they have done it very well because at no point it felt crowded and everything on the screen worked flawlessly. I think the piracy case was really interesting and all the cases in the film were inspired from real events. It was just so fascinating how a movie got leaked. It was out of love and what it caused, it was pretty interesting. And we see criminals have also become smart. They have become tech savvy as the world is changing. One thing I really liked was the film didn't dumb down things for people to understand what's really happening, how things work out. They were using the technical terms, and that is something I would only expect from Malayalam cinema because other industries would dumb it down so people with the lowest common denominator can understand it. And that also makes sense because they want to reach to more people. I'm really interested to know how people who are not used to the terms or not that tech savvy, how did they receive the film? Did they find boring or too much for them? If you know any instance like that, let me know in the comments. Now one big thing the film was tackling was unemployment, and I think they covered it very well throughout the film, considering it's a film about cybercrime and cyber cell and how they solve the cases. It was very well merged in the narrative, and honestly it is a big issue today. Youngsters with engineering degrees and BCom and MBA degrees, they don't have job, and they explored it really well. They talk about, oh, we didn't study that much in school and that has caused this. They don't know English that much. Now I am of the opinion that it's not necessary to know English, but many of us were privileged that we were taught English throughout our education, and even after that if someone is struggling, it's on them. But if someone comes from a Hindi medium or a Malayalam medium education, I totally understand they don't need to know English. They can try to learn, it's good for them, but it should not be forced upon or looked down upon. But we live in a society. At the end it also says the film is dedicated to the daily wage workers, temporary workers who don't have a fixed job. There are not rules and regulations to apply to them, but they also work hard like other permanent workers. And I really like the ending, that they didn't get the job. I thought they are playing it off. Now they'll be offered permanent jobs, but no. They were laid off, irrespective of how good they worked. And I like that the film ended with to be continued. I really like the comedy in the film, really worked for me. The comment about the relatives always calling and asking, what's your son doing? What's happening? They are the evil people. And then when he gets a job, the mother is calling them and saying he has 70,000 job and all of that, exaggerating. There are a lot of cute, funny moments like that. Man, that bank manager who, gave up his OTP and got dropped for 60,000. Oh my god. That was hilarious. And I saw on Wikipedia it was P. Balachandran, a famous writer and director. It would have been nice knowing that while it was happening. Then those people who got robbed because they are always updating on Facebook what they are doing, where are they. Now all these moments were little, over the top, exaggerated, but I found it funny. It was interesting. And again, as I said, it's for the mass, If they laugh on it, they understand what's happening and they'll remember. It will have a big impact in their mind. The friendship between Anthony and Dasan was really good. They were with each other throughout the film. They like the friendship advice Dasan gave Anthony, people who get blocked only become successful. The chemistry between both actors was really good. Balu Varghese and Lukman Avaran did a great job. And they were kind of the protagonist in this, ensemble cast. So they had to do the heavy lifting and they did that well. Now there were some moments in the film which I was like, is it necessary? Did it add anything to the story? Could it be cut down? Like we get to know about Dasan's sister and what happened to her. Now every time in the film we see Vinayakan and his wife and Dasan is crossing them. There's a slow-mo shot of him watching them. And it happens 2-3 times in the film. It was like a motive that was set up that Dasan is somewhat, connected to Vinayakan and his wife or the case. And at the end when he goes and, talks to the daughter, you can say it was set up throughout the film, but not really exactly. Like, does it add anything? Does that extra information do anything? Like, that's my point. And the film breaks its own narrative structure by using this motive somewhere else too. When Dasan sees that Anthony's girlfriend is in the office and he just rushes to him, it's again done in slow motion with the same motive. So I was confused. Oh, is it Vinayakan and his wife? No. Oh, okay. So you are only setting up this motive throughout the film that whenever this happens, it is between Vinayakan and Dasan, but suddenly you only break it and I am left confused. Now ASI Joy's backstory, how he met his wife and she couldn't walk, she was paralyzed and all of that. Again, extra information. What does it bring it to the story? Does it make any difference? All of these things come to mind and I don't know the answer really. But it is something, while watching the film, you're thrown out of the film and you're starting wondering why has that happened. Now coming to some of the issues I had. Officer Bashir, man. How arrogant and violent was he? Like in front of his superiors, he was like that. And the superiors like, hey, nothing, don't do it. Calm down. Like, come on, you are a superior. Stop him. He's a police officer and he's fighting with the victims. That I think at moments was just too much and it became, unrealistic. Now the scene before Anthony breaks up with his girlfriend, both of them are on the bike and they're talking and arguing and we just follow them on the bike. First of all, he's not wearing a helmet. Okay. He's constantly turning back and talking to her. And both those things ring a bell in my mind. Oh, something wrong is gonna happen. They are on the road, the camera is following them, they are arguing, something will go wrong, will they meet with an accident? All of these things are happening in my mind. And that's obvious because we have seen this happen in so many movies. So automatically the brain is ringing alarm in my mind. But nothing happens. Nothing happens. They reach home safely, they break up, and that's it. I'm like, wait, then why do you want to show me this process on the bike and distracting me from the real argument? Again, it's a very small thing. Of course, people talk like that in reality. They don't meet with accident. I understand that. But it's a film. So many people are watching. You want to focus on the argument. Them on the bike moving in the traffic is a distraction from that argument. You're spoiling the focus of the audience on the story. Instead, they reach at that place, they argue, they break up. That's it. No need of showing that whole thing. Yes, it's technically looks good, nice cinematography. You're showing off that, we can pull this shot. But again, it's breaking the story and narrative. It's a very small thing, doesn't even matter, but it is something to learn from. Now that whole slum episode where they have to get that guy out and, get him in the car and take him off, get him arrested. The whole execution of that scene felt little off to me, too forced, how they get him, suddenly there are so many people chasing them and then there's no one. Definitely a letdown in the whole film. And in the last case, the way, the robber enters the house and the lady behaves, that was so dumb. Come on, you are scared but you leave the door like that. that? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? Either if she was not scared at all, she was just wondering something, or she forgot. Okay, I get it. But when you're scared, you're intimidated by someone outside, you close the door first. You cannot just leave it there. I was like, come on, don't act stupid. But that was stupid to me. Again, an execution problem. Again, it was cool to see different cases throughout the film and not just one case as we normally do. Very similar to what we see in action hero Biju. And all the cases were really cool too. And I think my favorite one was the last one, how they solved that robbery murder thing. But I really wonder if this works as a one film. That is something the makers should ask themselves. Because I think they had a great story and a great idea and a great concept that they could have made in a web series. Maybe the first Malayalam web series on Netflix or Amazon. They had such a good cast, such a good production. Everything was so good. They could have pulled a great web series. Now the film does end with to be continued. And I would like them to think about it, because we don't have a cybercrime show ever, in India. And that'd be amazing to have from Malayalam cinema, because they have the potential with them. There's so many things they can show, and the way they treat it, it's really cool. What do you guys think? Coming to the acting, I think everyone did a good job. Man, every time I see Vinayakan, like, he just stand there for 2 seconds in a film, I'm like, what a performance. He's so good. Tom Chacko shines in just that small part. But I would say among the whole cast, someone who really stood out for me was Anthony's girlfriend. I'm really sorry I'm unable to find her name in the credits. And honestly don't want to take a wrong name. But she was really good. I think the moment they break up, and just before the moment she slaps him, the way she reacts and get angry, I think it was so real. From that moment only she got me. So guys, that is a video. Really enjoyed watching the film. There were some shortcomings, but overall a fun watch. Now I did get a lot of comments saying it's a really bad movie, average movie and all of that. And again, maybe I enjoyed it more because I have a connection with cybercrime and all of that. I really find it interesting. So the film engaged me throughout. So guys, if you like this, hit the thumbs up button, share this video, let me in the comments your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed yet, check out the videos if you like them too. Do subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Stay home, stay safe.